On November 19, 2025, police were called to a fire station after reports of employees assaulting a fellow firefighter, hitting him with a belt, restraining him, and threatening waterboarding. What began as a normal shift at a fire station took a disturbing turn. Watch till the end to see how a routine shift led to arrests and felony charges that shook the entire department.
You can come this way.
Okay.
Hey, how are y'all?
Hello.
These gentlemen reported an incident happened at one of the fire stations. And we just wanted to, I just talked to your watch commander. So it was in the county,
Okay.
not in there, and we're mandatory reporting it. And then so
Okay.
that's what we're doing.
Okie doke.
Yeah.
How did he get here?
Because he works for us, and when he gave us a statement, we came here to talk.
Oh.
So, yeah, it's on duty and it's on duty.
Johnny, like a bigger notepad?
Okay, guys.
What's going on? Let me in on this confusion we got going on.
Yeah, go ahead.
So we called you guys because
For sure.
based on the information that firefighter has provided us, we
Okay.
believe that potentially a crime has been committed.
Okay.
We've run it through our legal department,
Yeah.
our HR department,
Okay.
and we feel it's like a mandatory reporting situation,
Yeah.
and we want him to
Okay.
give you the.
Do I need a bigger notepad?
You are going to need a bigger notepad.
Go get me a bigger
You're
notepad.
going to need a bigger notepad, and
Good things. I left mine at home today.
yeah. And if you need anything, man, we'll
No, that's okay.
We can hook you up. But we want him to be able to give you his story
Okay.
and then have you help us
Yeah.
guide through this process.
Okay. Yeah, just wait till he comes back on the notepad.
Yeah.
All right, man. So I'm Deputy Brown, Deputy Liv Fountain. What you got going on today?
The whole story, or just
Yeah, start from the beginning. Well, give me a little bit of why we're here, and then we'll kind of go back from there.
So, later in the night, when pretty much command, like captain and lieutenant was sleeping, they were like, the rest of the crew were like trying to get in my phone, find my password, and so they ended up like taking my gear off and throwing my boots, and then I went to go.
They physically took your gear off of you?
No, the truck.
Okay.
And then
Okay.
threw it, and then threw my boots, and then I went to go get it, and they, like, one came behind me, and like held my arms, and then dragged me over to like kind of where the concrete is in front of the bay, and then Seth Day grabbed my legs, and he put me in a like leg lock, held my legs,
Okay.
and then after that, one of them took the phone out of my pocket, and like kept trying to lock me out. And like they were like, "What's the password?" They were like trying to get in my TikTok account, and so then they took my belt off, and then they were like trying to turn me to my side, but like they're still holding me. Someone has me. In
You're still upright, or you're on the ground
No,
at this
I'm on the
point?
ground.
Okay.
So they're holding me, and then he has like my legs held up like this, and they're kind of like bending them, so I can't go anywhere.
You're like your knees.
They're like
Sorry.
bent up like this.
Your knees towards your chest.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's holding them, and so he takes my belt off me, and
Who's he?
Tate, dropping Tate. So Tate, Seth Day.
And we'll get all the names. I just want to see kind of.
Okay.
Yeah.
Took my belt off and started hitting me with it.
Okay.
And then afterwards, there was a girl there. She was on the medic truck, and she was trying to lock me on my phone and stuff. And she was like, she locked it out so many times that a message that said like reset all your system data.
Yeah, I've
She
seen
was like
those.
threatening to press that and reset
Yeah.
everything. And then they told her to look away, and they started like pulling my pants off. And then they were hitting me again, and then they said look away. And then she was like still taking pictures and stuff, and then like she kind of like faked and went like this. And then they pulled.
Stop for just a second.
Yeah.
Watchman just said he's on his way.
Okay.
Doing an Uber. You just asked us to stop.
Okay.
So, that's
Okay. Cool. That's fine. That's not on you. Sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
No, I'm
Yeah.
sorry and I know this is a very serious situation.
Yeah.
Just Honestly, it's uncharted waters, and we want to make sure we're doing all the right things and that we're doing all that together.
So, just to start off with, the reason you are here is about Sunday, November the 16th, C shift with Tate, Seth, Edward, the crew, Haley, Tweety, and Paulman. If you could just, we want your side of the story. I know you guys start 8 to 8. If you could, just starting at 8 a.m., kind of give us what that shift was like.
Well, from start of the shift, it was just pretty normal. I know, like, he's afloat. He came from 12, so he was at our station, and throughout the entire day, for the most part, like him and Tate, they seemed like they were like really good buds because they were just kind of messing with each other throughout the entire day. Even when we had dinner, like, was just making jokes about how he was Tate's boyfriend and all that. I thought they were pretty close. So at one point, they're even like wrestling with each other at the station. I don't know what time this was around, but they're just messing with each other. The actual, I think it was around 6 p.m. that me and Kaylee came back from a call, and most of the crew was in the bay. They were talking to just figuring out like his backstory and everything. Eventually, he ended up talking about this TikTok account that he had. He made this TikTok video that went viral. He ended up deleting the video, and all of us were just kind of just asking him about what his old TikTok username was. He said he didn't know, but he had a new TikTok username that we saw because he was using the TikTok app. So we were all just asking him what the username was. He said he wouldn't. So at some point, I think he went and showed Kaylee. It was regarding something else, but then Kaylee tried to grab his phone real quick to go on TikTok to see the username.
There were like almost like the entire station earlier in the night was sitting at a table, was like making a joke about like how he had this TikTok go viral, and it was like sort of like a 2016 like thirst trap. We tried for like a long time. We were like, show us the TikTok. He ended up saying no, like he deleted his TikTok, like it's not there anymore. He doesn't have it. We started talking about something else. And then I want to say like probably like 30 or 45 minutes had gone by. We were still at the table. And was like, dude, what the is this guy talking about? And I was like, what? Like, what do you mean? Because he just like sometimes randomly just says things, and we're like, about what? And then he gave me his phone, and he was showing me like these group messages about like another firefighter that was having sex with like a girl at the station or something like that.
That was who showed you that?
He gave me his phone to show me the text messages originally. And then I believe it was Seth who took the phone from my hands, and then that's kind of like where it all started.
I don't remember how we came in possession of the phone off the top of my head.
Sure.
And then we were trying to get him to tell us his TikTok user so we could look at it.
Okay.
And then I remember coming around the corner because he chased after me and I ran.
Why was he chasing after you?
I had possession of his phone. I don't remember how I ended up with possession of his phone. But he chased after me and I ran. And then I remember coming around the corner and he was on the ground with Tate and Eddie.
Okay.
Edward, sorry.
No, you're fine. And is it Eddie, Edward, Kenny?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right.
And then I believe Tate caught a call, and so I grabbed his legs and laid on the ground with him, kind of, so neither of us would go anywhere. And I passed the phone off, I believe, to Kaylee.
But like I want to like preface it for me like this is something that happens like every day.
Like they're
at the
just
station.
messing around.
And so like participated in like roughhousing with Kenny and Tate and Seth before, so I didn't really think that anything was going on. And
No, you're
sorry,
fine. You're fine. Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry. So Seth took over restraining the legs.
And you said Tate went to a call.
Tate did go to a call.
Okay.
He came back a couple minutes later.
Okay. Like they were canceled or something?
They were canceled, yeah.
Okay.
So Tate came back, and then Tate took the phone and was standing over Tate was standing over, and he was still at the hands, and Seth was still at the legs. Tate took his belt like off of him and like pulled down his pants a little bit.
Like he was wearing the belt and he took the belt off of his pants? Okay.
And then he started spanking him like with the belt, which I'm not saying that it's like right that this occurs, but like this is something like that they do.
Who normally does like this kind of stuff?
It's just like small. It's like boys being boys. Like I do not get involved in this shit because it's just I'm not gonna touch any of them and they won't touch me.
Yeah.
So obviously like it's a different dynamic for me.
Was this happening like before or after your call that you went? Was this after or?
I think that was after.
Okay, so you returned from your call at this point?
Yeah.
Okay, and who's all in that picture?
That's me, and Edward Kenny, Dalton Kenny, Seth, and Kaylee.
Okay, now is Kaylee holding her phone?
That might be his.
His meaning whose? Okay, so when you get back, is it still in possession of his phone, or did they already have
When
his
I
phone?
get back, he'd already had it.
They had already had it. They meaning Kaylee already had it.
Well, like, yeah, they already got it from him. That's a group.
Okay.
Kaylee had it.
Were you aware of him ever like having the phone? Like, because I get keep away was kind of happening. It sounds like even before you left. But do you remember if he ever got his phone back and then it was taken again? At least to your knowledge.
But I thought we done everything that went down and gave back to him. I'm pretty sure that was
So,
it.
okay. And I guess like the phone gets taken from him. They're playing keep away, right? But once he's on the ground restrained, at any point did he have his phone while he was on the ground and then it was taken from him?
I don't remember.
Okay.
Now, in this picture also, it looks like Seth's kind of holding his belt. Do you remember who removed his belt?
Picture again?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it doesn't look like he has his belt on.
Yeah, you can see the belt looks pretty well.
Okay. So, like, did Seth? Is he just holding it, or like, how did they get his belt? Was his belt already off when you came, or?
I believe Seth took it off.
Okay. Okay. Now let's kind of progress from there. Like, what is happening at this point?
So I know he'd gotten hit with a belt.
Okay.
With the belt.
Who was hitting him with the belt?
Seth was.
Okay. Now, could you hear pop noises, snap noises?
It wasn't like crazy. I mean, it was hard enough probably for him to feel it, for it to hurt. But I don't know if it was like.
Do you think it was hard enough to where like it would leave some sort of like visible injury? I'm not saying like a scar or like he was bleeding or
Or
anything.
even cause some redness.
Yeah,
or
some redness of the skin. Yeah. What is he doing throughout this entire process? I mean, what is he saying?
So he was like,
it's like.
Obviously, it sounded like he was joking, like, Tate, we're best buds, like, you wouldn't do this to me, while Tate was asking him about the password for the phone.
Mm-hmm.
So he asked for the password. He's like, we're best buds, you wouldn't do this to me, and then he, like, would hit him.
When you say, hey, he was telling Tate, we're best buds, why would you do something like this to me? Obviously, then, you may have thought something, but looking back on it, because to me, just that statement alone kind of seems a little bit like, he didn't want to be part of that.
Or something.
Yeah. So that, looking back on it now, when Tate's doing this, is that how it appears? I don't want to,
Well, like, in my mind, when he came back, it's like, well, I don't think, like you said, like, no normal person wouldn't, you know, like, I just thought that with them being close, like...
You know, and I get that, and that may have been what you thought then, and I understand that. But looking back now, hindsight's 2020. Obviously, is that something that you feel that he was just joking, or that he was actually in pain and wanted Tate to stop?
No, I thought I was still joking because he wasn't like actively like hurting him or anything like that.
Now, what was doing at this point?
Laughing.
Okay.
Well, that's why, I agree. What we did got out of hand.
Yeah.
100%.
Sure.
Got out of hand. But the whole time he was laughing, and me roughhousing all day. Like,
Gotcha.
just back and forth wrestling. We earlier and got up and laughed about it. And
like no issue.
all day.
Yeah,
like that.
Okay. So, tell me more about what you mean. Like, you think it got out of hand. Tell me more about that.
Probably mostly how long it went on.
Okay.
And hitting with a belt was probably uncalled for. But, thing I'd like to say and make me known, personally, is, that's the kind of behavior that, like stuff like that's happened to me before.
Okay. Specifically at that location?
At work?
Yeah.
Like Station 21.
That's what I meant, yeah.
Yeah. Stuff like in that similar or the same kind of things happened to me before. So when it's happening, kind of, I'm like, that's the culture I've been shown.
I gotcha.
Throughout when I started here, throughout, the past 7 months I've been at 21.
Okay.
So that kind of stuff has happened to me before.
Okay.
Which is why I'm kind of.
And I get like what you're getting at, and obviously that's not okay. But in terms of we can obviously just from what you said agree that it did get out of hand, right? So you're saying just from when the belt happened it got out of hand. Mm-hmm. Okay.
The next thing that I remember, after the belt, was Kenny, I believe, got up and went inside. And I'm assuming that means that, Tate took over the arms. Mm-hmm. I don't exactly remember how it happened. And then Kenny came out, and he had a towel and a jug of water. And then Seth was like, it's waterboarding time. Which is really bad. And then that's when I was like, all right, this is, because this happened a week ago too. This is...
The waterboarding did?
Yeah,
okay.
This happened to Tate a week ago when I was there. And then I was under the assumption that Tate are friends from fire school.
Okay.
And Tate was laughing when it happened to Tate. So I don't know at what point it became too much. Mm-hmm. But I know that they did put the towel over his head, and then I walked away at that point. I don't know if they actually put water on him.
Just so you know, we've kind of talked to a lot of people at the station already. We've collected certain evidence, so all we're looking for is your side of the story, and most importantly the truth. Because when people lie, obviously that makes them pretty bad. Mm-hmm. And I get you're saying you don't remember what happened, and I think you may have more of an idea or even remember what happened after he was in a lead block.
I had him in the lead block, correct?
Yeah.
That's pretty much all I did. Mm-hmm. I don't remember the specifics on anything else.
Okay. Did you maybe witness something else that happened afterwards?
I know somebody put a rag over his face.
Okay.
And I saw a thing of water and I said, no, don't, let's not do that.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bit far. Obviously now the whole thing was a bit far. And then I believe shortly after he caught his call.
Okay, and how do you know that, there was a rag placed over his face?
Because I could see him directly.
Okay, and where was he at when this was all happening?
We were on we call it the apron, the driveway.
Okay.
In front of the trucks.
Okay, and I know there's two sections of it. Is that the part where you're over by the what is that? The car that you guys kind of train with, and then the
Yes, sir.
dumpster. Okay, that's over there.
Yes, sir.
It's like the west side of the property.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And I know you mentioned something about some water being brought out. What exactly happened with the water? Or do you know who even brought it out?
I don't know who brought it out. I do remember they're not using it because I told them not to. Or there may have been a few drops, like as it went over his head, but nothing. They didn't pour it. And besides that, I'm pretty sure shortly after he caught his call.
Okay. Do you know, and who is they pouring the water? Even if it's just a little bit?
I don't remember.
Okay.
In all honesty.
I mean, there's only so many of you at the station. Are you sure you don't remember?
I don't remember.
Do you remember what was used to pour the water over his head?
I believe it was we have plastic pitchers that we used to make coffee in the morning.
Okay. Does it have like a top?
No.
Okay. So and if I'm kind of leading you in the wrong direction here, just let me know. But how would one dribble a little bit of water from something that has an open top? If that makes sense, it would kind of come out in a steady stream, wouldn't it?
Sorry.
You're fine.
I believe it was like moved over, and then I believe it was full.
Okay.
I don't know off the top of my head.
Okay. If you don't know off the top of your head.
Where were you when this was happening?
I still had in the leg lock.
Okay.
And I was there, but I was looking at. I wasn't looking around.
Okay. But so you had him in the leg lock, but you knew that the water and the towel had been placed on him. The water was about to be pouring on him to that extent.
Yes, sir. Because from my angle, I could see him, and then I saw the rag, and then I saw the picture, and I said no.
Okay. And then going back to when this whole thing first started, and you guys are on the ground. I know you mentioned you took over holding him down for someone. Who was that?
Tate.
Okay, and then you said Eddie. We'll just call him that. But Edward Kenny. Where was he at when you took over?
He was holding arms.
Okay, so in terms of I understand Tate had to leave. When it comes over to where the water and towel become involved, are these the same guys that are involved, or is it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so do you remember where Tate and Kenny may have been?
No, I remember we were all in the station though. That's all.
Okay, and when I mean involved, I mean taking part of the towel being placed on his head, maybe still holding him down, because I understand you have his legs locked.
Not to my knowledge.
Okay.
What did you observe happen after the belt, after the pants come down? What did this progress into?
And essentially what we're getting at is we just want you to tell us about the pitcher of water and the towel.
Yeah. Now, is this something that you got, or?
Sorry. I'm sorry, I'd rather have a lawyer.
Okay, that's okay. Before we step out or anything like that, is there anything else you want to tell us?
No, I'm just too stressed.
Okay. Is there anything you need? Water? Okay. All right. Just if you need anything, just knock. Yeah.
Did somebody mention this and say waterboarding or it's time to do waterboarding or anything like that?
Well, it had been a joke because, like I said, this kind of stuff has been happening to me.
Okay.
So it did happen to me. So it's kind of a joke. It was like a joke. He never actually got waterboarded.
Okay.
What happened? We were sitting there playing around. Seth had him by his knees. We were just kind of sitting there. Kenny had walked in and came back out with a pitcher of water and a towel.
Okay.
And it was like, oh, we're going to waterboard him.
Okay.
And all that happened was the towel got put over his face, and that was it.
Okay.
So nobody actually poured the water onto his head?
I don't believe any water.
Okay. Because we had heard different. We had heard water got poured on it. It didn't sound like it was very much, maybe, but like did Kenny come out with like a full pitcher of water?
Yeah. I mean, it was still full afterwards, so I don't.
Okay.
I wasn't really watching that.
How long do you think it went on for?
I don't know, 20, 30 minutes maybe.
Okay. I mean, that's kind of a significant amount of time,
Yeah.
you know. Just to bring this up, you had even mentioned in reference to incidents that this isn't even something the worst that you've seen at a fire station. So, I mean, that's why he's bringing it up.
It's not the worst that's happened to me.
Okay, to you, okay.
Yeah.
So it's something worse other than waterboarding and getting hit with your own belt?
Well, the thing I'm saying is, like, I didn't actually get waterboarded. The joke was because it actually happened to me.
Okay.
The joke was about it. I don't remember how. I think we told him about it. We told him that happened. And we were like, oh, like, well, we're going to waterboard you. Like,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did it happen at Station 21?
Yeah.
What happened to you?
Yeah.
Okay. So somebody from Station 21 then, obviously.
What started as an internal complaint unraveled into something much bigger. Following the investigation, the agency terminated 10 employees, including a battalion chief, a captain, a lieutenant, firefighters, EMTs, and paramedics. Kaylee Bradley was charged with robbery. Seth Day, Tate Troutwine, and Edward Kinney each faced charges of kidnapping, battery, and robbery. What happened inside that station didn't just end careers, it resulted in charges that carried lasting consequences. If you want to stay updated on real cases like this, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications.